What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about Gerard Pique's new league, the Kings League. Now, this league is different, it's new, and it's getting huge. There's millions of viewers and they're making a bunch of money. But I think it also has the chance to disrupt football or soccer as we know it. Let me explain. And I'll do that by setting the scene initially. So earlier this year, some of you probably saw on social media that more than 92,000 people showed up at Camp Nou in Barcelona. These people paid between $10 and $65 to attend the match, and it generated millions of dollars in ticket revenue. President Joan Laporta of Barcelona was seen dancing in the stands, and celebrities were dropped off via helicopter at midfield before the games. But this wasn't a La Liga match. FC Barcelona wasn't in town, and the UEFA Champions League didn't start for several more months. Instead, this was the Kings League, a new 7-on-7 amateur league founded by Barcelona legend Gerard Pique. Now, this league has become incredibly popular over the last 12 months, and like I said, they're making a bunch of money. But it's really based on one innovative new strategy that Pique and his business partners have gone with, and I'll explain that in 1 minute. But let me give you a little bit of background on the league itself. Gerard Pique is obviously a legend in Barcelona. He played with FC Barcelona for many, many years. The story says that last year he was walking to lunch with one of his business partners and he starts complaining about how kids today, specifically his kids, have shorter attention spans and they want more action when it comes to football, soccer, or sports in general. So they start reimagining the way that football is played. They say it's a little bit too slow, there's not enough goals, the attention isn't there like it used to be. And he reinvents the sport essentially. So what they do is he goes and he buys an abandoned warehouse near the port in Barcelona. He puts up on his website an application to recruit new players. They get over 11,000 applicants and eventually end up selecting 180 of them to enter a draft like you might see in the NBA or the NFL today. But more importantly, what they did was they worked with the fans to establish a whole new set of rules. And I'll read you some of the rules. So a few of the rules of the Kings League that are different than traditional soccer is that it's 7-on-7 rather than 11-on-11. Not only that, but it's amateur, not professional. These matches last just 40 minutes across 2 halves rather than 90 minutes. There's always a winner, right? So there's no draws. You have unlimited substitutions rather than just 5 per team. There are yellow and red cards, but rather than just giving someone a penalty or kicking them out of the game, they have what's equivalent to the penalty box in ice hockey. They call it a sin bin, and you go to this box for 2 to 5 minutes depending on what card you get, and then you can rejoin your team afterwards. It works just like the NHL and ice hockey today. Furthermore, all of the Kings League games are played on Sundays, and these teams have just 12 players, 7 starters, 3 bench players, and 2 wild cards. These wild cards are like guest players that can come and go from game to game. They're not on your permanent roster. And if that wasn't enough, before each match, managers of the team are allowed to select what they're calling a secret weapon. This secret weapon can be used at any point during the match, but it can only be used once. And it includes a whole host of different things. You could draw double goals, which means you get to count a goal as 2 goals during a 2-minute period during the match. You could remove a player, so you get to kick another player off the team from the opposing team for 2 minutes during a match. You get center penalty kicks, so it's like hockey style. You start at midfield and the goalie one-on-one. You run at each other and you try to score. Again, there's a bunch of different quirks and things that go to this league that make it look really nothing like traditional soccer. It looks completely different. But the smartest thing that the Kings League did was their distribution strategy. And this is the most important part, so listen up. The Kings League partnered with streamers, right? So some of these entities, how they work today, if you look at the Premier Lacrosse League, I'm an investor in that league. It's growing a lot. I think it's tremendous. But the league owns all of the teams, right? Compared to the NFL, where there's individual owners for all the teams. You have Jerry Jones with the Cowboys, yada, yada, yada. What the Kings League did, which was really smart, was all of the teams fold up to one organization, but they're all represented and partially owned by a president. And these presidents aren't just rich people that bought the teams. No, they're streamers. So Gerard Pique has worked with a lot of streamers on different projects in the past when it comes to his personal investments. And what he noticed is that these people are rock stars. In some cases, they have millions, if not tens of millions of followers and subscribers. They can get hundreds of thousands of people to show up to an event for them and so forth. They're rock stars, plain and simple celebrities of today's day and age. So Gerard Pique went out and he recruited 12 of these celebrities. And he said, each of you is going to run a team. You're going to be the president. But you're not only going to run the team, you're going to help us grow this league with an audience from day one. And that's exactly what they've done. These streamers have helped the Kings League across the Kings League channel. This isn't the streamer's personal channels. This is the Kings League Twitter account, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. The Kings League has 13 million followers today, specifically because these streamers already had built-in audiences that they basically transported over to the Kings League. But that's not all they did. Not only did they help with getting an audience to their channels, but the Kings League is a totally different distribution model when it comes to viewership. So most sports leagues today, you either have to have a cable package to watch the games, a streaming service, maybe Amazon or Peacock or something like that, or pay-per-view, right? Boxing, UFC, those are all on pay-per-view. But the Kings League doesn't do any of that. All of their matches are free to stream globally, anywhere in the world. Anyone can watch them for free at any single time, live, right? This is not on tape delay. This is live. Anyone can watch them. If you have an internet connection, you can watch Kings League matches. And the reason for that is quite simple. Not only is the Kings League broadcasting them on their social media channels, knowing that this is a digital age and things are changing, but they're having the streamers, the presidents of the teams, broadcast them live as well on their channels, right? So if you're a streamer and you can get hundreds of thousands of people, in some cases millions of people, to show up to your channel, to watch you play a video game, you hang out, you talk to other people, whatever it is, you can certainly get those people to watch your team that you're the president of in the Kings League, and that's exactly what has happened. The first ever Kings League match, literally the first match, had 800,000 viewers on Twitch. The first month in January 2023, the Kings League amassed 238 million views on TikTok and Twitch. And to give you some perspective on just how much 238 million is, I mean, it sounds insane because it is insane, but that was more than every single traditional European football league combined during that month, right? So every single European football league, Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, whatever, right? Add them all up. It was less than the Kings League saw on Twitch and TikTok during that month, 238 million views. I already told you about what happened at Camp Nou. There was 92,000 people there, sold out, great energy, etc. So the viewership is there, and it's happened from day one. Most leagues struggle with getting this initial traction, but because they partnered with the streamers, that didn't happen. Now, you may say, Joe, most of these leagues, like the NFL or the NBA or the Premier League or whatever, they're making all their money on broadcasting rights. How is the Kings League making any money if they don't have broadcasting rights? And the answer to that is quite simple. They're not making any money on broadcasting rights. Sure, they can have partnerships with Twitch or TikTok or YouTube and make ad revenue that way or whatever. There's certainly a little bit of money there. But the truth is that they're monetizing it through sponsorships. They're working with companies like Adidas, Gatorade, Spotify. InfoJobs was on the front of everyone's uniform. They have an arena sponsor for the warehouse that they purchased. They're monetizing the league through sponsorships. And look, I don't want to go out on a limb and say, hey, this is the future of football. I don't think it is. The major European football leagues are still going to be here today, tomorrow, and 100 years from now, in my opinion. It's a totally different sport is what it is. And Gerard Pique is not trying to take that over. He's just trying to offer a different alternative for a different set of fans. And I think that's exactly what they're doing. Now, it's going to take some time for this to play out. Pique has already said, look, year one was a success. Viewership was pretty good. We made some money and we're actually profitable. We don't have to go raise more money or anything like this. But let's see how year two goes. Let's see how year three goes. But I'm excited about this project, and I'll tell you why I'm excited about this project. I'm excited about this project because Gerard Pique understands the size and the scale of the digital audience online today. These leagues are extremely cheap to set up, right? They literally all play games in one abandoned warehouse. The players are making like hundreds of dollars a game, if not low-digit thousands per game. You're not paying millions in salaries. You're able to basically pay for everything in year one with sponsorships, and then you stream everything for free on the channels of everyone else. But the reason why this is so good is because these leagues can expand rather quickly. So let me give you an example. Most people would say, okay, they have one in Barcelona. Let's go open one up in England, in America, in Mexico, whatever. And they may do that. But they're not thinking about it from a location standpoint. What they're thinking about it is from a language standpoint, right? So if you have streamers that are immensely popular in Spanish, there's just as many streamers that are immensely popular in English or Portuguese or Japanese or German or Russian or whatever, right? Pick a language. You can go down the list of the world's most popular languages, go find the biggest streamers in all of those different languages, and you know they're going to enjoy soccer. It's the world's most popular sport. There's 3.5 billion people that either watch it or play it every single year, and you're able to expand this league. So even though you may not make as much money as the NFL or the NBA or the MLB or the Premier League or Bundesliga or La Liga or whatever, you're going to make just as much money, or you could make as much money as them in the long run because you have the scale, right? it's not just one league. They're already opening up one in Latin America. They could open up one in England. They could open up one in France. They could open up one in whatever country you want. But you guys get the point. You're able to expand by language, not location. And there is no shortage of popular streamers today. The internet is only getting more users every day from here on out. And I think this is a good business model. To be determined if this has some staying power. Obviously, year one was a hit. To be profitable and get 238 million viewers in a single month, 800,000 people watching your event live, that's incredibly valuable from an advertising perspective. And my guess is that this thing is only going to grow because the Kings League isn't going to be going back and saying, hey, we have 238 million viewers. No, they're going to say we have 500 million now because we added a second league. What are you going to pay us from this? And I think that advertisers personally are going to be super interested in this because it's a younger, more diverse audience that has different languages, lives in different areas, and so forth. So specifically global companies like a Spotify or someone else like that, they're going to pay a premium for this type of content. We already know that sports, more than anything else, is a fantastic avenue to advertise on. And Pique realizes, quite frankly, a lot more than other alternative sports leagues today. If we're talking about pickleball or other things like that, this is in a completely different league. 238 million viewers in a single month, 800,000 people watching live is tremendously valuable to advertisers. It's tremendously valuable from a business perspective. And I think this league is going to get much bigger than it is today. I'll keep you guys updated as it goes. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please subscribe to this channel. You can listen to the full episodes on the Joe Pomp Show, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk later this week.